So what you're looking at is a collection of napkin art. I used an assortment of colors of ballpoint pen and napkins. And I got the plastic baggies at Jerry's Artorama. They come in different sizes. Just ask someone up front to help you find this particular item. And I use a type of sticky putty that you can also get there. And you just take a wad of it and stick it on the back of the corners of these and they'll adhere quite nicely without damaging your paint of the wall or the door. And I think that the idea is this is like a metaphor for life, an individual life. And it's kind of like a world within a world. You have like the unfolding of just different things that you go through, and what's happening is the landscape is both inner and outer. So the recognizable forms are the things that are outer. The unrecognizable things are the things that are going on inside. But then what's interesting is they start kind of getting tangled up to where you can't separate the outside from the inside world. And so, and I think that's a metaphor for how I think reality is. Like, how do we really perceive the world around us, if not through our senses? We have the sense of sight, smell, touch, hearing, and tasting. And this is how we build our construct of our reality. And so this is how we come to know what is and what is not, correct? And so I don't believe in the solipsistic idea that I'm the only thing that exists, that if I cease to be, you cease to be. Now, in an experiential sense, this is true, but all you gotta do is trace yourself back to your parents and ask yourself, well, was I there when my parents were? And so, I mean, the most simplest occidental answer would be nope, you were not. They conceived you. And so you'd have to conclude that, let's look at it from a different way. You have the subject and the object. I'm the subject, I'm experiencing what's going on in the world. And so what's out there is my environment. Subjectivity versus objectivity. So me versus you. I perceive you. I perceive the tree, I perceive the house, I perceive the environment, I perceive my parents. They are indeed a part of my environment. So it's just me and my environment. So I have to conclude that my environment came first. But the question is, if I can only perceive the environment through my five senses that are limited, it looks like what I'm looking at when I use my eyes or what have you, I'm only perceiving what I am capable of perceiving. So in a sense, I think that there's something out there beyond our sense of perception, like infinity. A lot of esoteric schools teach something about infinity. Evelyn Underhill, she's a esoteric Christian, and she wrote about this, and Lao Tzu and the Buddha and Hindus. They're familiar with all these things that I'm talking about with respect to an infinite realm out there beyond our sense of perception. William Blake talks about if you can cleanse the doors of perception, you would see everything as they truly are, infinite. William Blake. And that's the doors of perception. That's what inspired the Doors to get their name for their band, the Doors. And so you are, in a sense, only seeing your reflection when you look out and that reflection is bouncing off of eternity. So I think that for someone like me, this is a form of escape. Drawing on napkins, it's considered to be very cliche, but it's also very liberating. And uh, it's a lot of fun. You know, you play your favorite music and just kind of let the pen go on its journey. And Paul Klee said to take a line for a walk. So that's kind of like what I did, and I can piece more of these together. You see, they can extend outward. I would like to have this on a wall in some gallery or museum someday, and have it like 7 by 7 feet or something like that. So I have to make more of these.